Welcome to the Survivalists Season 1 Update 3 video. This update, we focused on several community requests, numerous bug fixes, heavy weapons, mechanic professions, zombie behavior changes, and much more. We hope you enjoy what we have to showcase. By popular demand of the community, Slimey Change happening this update is worms receiving the action to be eaten and fed to other survivors. All you need to do is dig up a few worms from the dirt and attempt to feed them to an unsuspecting survivor. Watch out for those worm bandits, but perhaps a Muad'Dib will grace you with their presence. Another community suggestion is patches on boxing gloves. It is a really good idea, and we are ashamed we didn't think of it first. Boxing gloves now have a patch slot for each glove that takes any patch that is craftable. Now teams can sport their rep instead of just by glove color. With over 150 patches, the combinations are almost endless. A feature the dev team showcased a year ago was modifying the cassette player volume. Back then, actions were much different and our knowledge of network syncing was limited, which caused the volume control to only affect you and not the people around. Armed with modern solutions, we revisited this feature and present you with volume control on the cassette players and soon to follow boomboxes. This will allow survivors to control the sound of some songs that can be very loud or boost their favorite tracks to a new level. The long-awaited LMG release is here. Ever since we removed the PKM from other mods in favor of lower fire rate rifles, the community has demanded high-powered weaponry to fight the monsters they encounter daily. The company announcement from Stag, Espen, and Lock & Sons showcases 3 new LMGs with awesome sounds and control mechanics. Our aim with these weapons is to balance their power with mobility and control. The bipod deploys automatically when the barrel is close enough to a surface. There are many different surfaces out there, so try them all and let us know if you see ones that do not work as you think they should. Now when a bipod is deployed, the dispersion is very low and you can control the gun much easier than without the bipod. Our hopes is these weapons will be used as well-placed obstacles during firefights to create fire lanes and control the tides of battle. Reach out to your local company trader for more information. And wait, there's more. We noticed there was a lack of 50 caliber rifles in circulation, so we decided to add a new big old boy long barrel rifle with loud booms and epic swagger. Get your 50 cal from your nearest Lock & Sons representative. As we roll out the mechanic profession, what good is fixing cars if they are broken down out in the wild? To fix this problem, the Survivalist dev team would like to introduce the tow truck. Using the power of sheer will, the tow truck is able to hoist damaged vehicles onto its bed and drive them out. Given the lack of OSHA-regulated workplaces, the use of straps is expressly forbidden, which forces the driver to be mindful of acceleration and hills, given there are wheels on a flatbed. We are very excited to see this truck roll out and serve the greater population of Deer Isle. Since we added the new animation mod pack, Survivor Animations, we were able to turn the motorbikes to use the Harley animations. They don't match up perfectly, but from a distance it looks good. We also added a bit of slide to the motorbikes, so drifting into place is now possible. I want to see organized race nights now at the racetracks. With the 1.20 update, modders receive much more control over AI behavior. Being diligent devs, we ask the best questions first. How far can we push the boundaries? Well, our first iteration is jumping and projectile throwing zombies. We always wanted an answer to cheesing AI by standing on cars or roofs, so we decided to bring the monsters to the roof. AI now has the ability to jump up objects and reach higher places than before. If some Zeds cannot reach a target, it will throw a bone sliver at the target, with a chance to throw a head crab. This change in zombie behavior should provide a breath of fresh air to daily risk management as you travel around the island trying to avoid these things. A continuation of last month's cybernetic release is the medical arm and new sounds to the machine as it creates cyborgs. The medical arm has durability and takes wear over time. As it is used, it needs to be repaired. The cyborg core needs to be charged with batteries in order to heat the coils within the arms to cauterize wounds. The arms can also be filled with disinfectant for mobile sterilization. The balance feature of cauterizing wounds is doing 10 burn damage to the target for each bleed. This means if a player has 10 bleeds, the cyborg will inadvertently cauterize the target to death. Be careful with your tools. The dev team has always felt throwing knives were lacking in DayZ, due to having to hold a hotkey to start the action, click and hold to wind up, then release to throw. In this update, when a knife is in your hands, and your hands are in the raised position, holding the throw hotkey will now launch the knife out of your hands. Take note of the crosshair, and it's still being visible when the knife is in your hands while raised. This helps with targeting, but only practice will turn you into a true ninja. We hope you enjoy this feature. A quality of life item added in this update is the blood barrel. A simple redo of an existing item gives attachment slots and a nice interface for organizing blood without having to mouse over the bags themselves. The categories are not strictly enforced, so you can put O- blood in all the slots if you wish. We hope this makes blood drives easier to manage, or storing blood in general. A rather large overhaul currently underway is with the profession system, and increasing the availability of access to workbenches is the next thing to change. Workbenches have always been sought after simply because they unlock large sections of content on the server and are normally seen as artificial gates to newer players, favorably granted to certain players, or vulnerable to dismantling into a kit for malicious intent. In an attempt to start re-industrializing the island as the apocalypse moves forward, powered workbenches will provide a focal point for communities to build around to support the weight of progress. These benches will not store items between restarts, so the player needs to bring the items to the bench and fill it for their crafting. In this demonstration, you can see me brute forcing the bench by filling all the slots and using a hammer to see available options. The professional will learn the most efficient recipe combinations and can decide to share or safekeep this information. Their knowledge will help provide the arbitrage in the economy to make things valuable over pure farming. You will notice several recipes have migrated to these benches. The first recipes for these benches will be fairly public, and as we roll out more exclusive recipes, those will be found out through trial and error in the profession system. In the spirit of wanting more natural looking barricades, this update sports several new bamboo walls that can be used to funnel traffic into expected areas or block off an entire area. This is the beginning of the wooden building pack we are importing into the game, and is just the first of many. To make a kit, find a carpentry bench, fill it with proper materials, and craft the barricade kit. Once you have the barricade kit, apply epoxy putty and scroll through the options until you get to the bamboo walls. Finalize the craft and place your new wall. Another part of the mechanic profession is general maintenance of vehicles before they catastrophically break down in the wild. With the introduction of the car lift, vehicles can be lifted pneumatically off the ground to allow for repairs. With this change, the existing methods of repairing cars are removed in favor of this exclusive profession. Similar to the previous workbenches, these will be statically placed around the map and require professional mechanics to base near in order to claim pseudo-ownership. Last but not least is map-wide communications. A while ago, we removed the MVS field backpacks, and the community has demanded them back frequently. Well, we finally found a good enough model to replace, and this update releases a wearable backpack radio powered by a battery that reaches the entire island. Joining this radio is a placeable static radio that will allow the player to broadcast out into the world. This radio takes a car battery. It needs to be turned on and tuned to a frequency to broadcast by looking at the control panels and manipulating the knobs. Some upcoming stuff that we can show off is Alaveric's vest overhaul system. Alaveric has been working in the basement, only rarely coming out for sunshine and fresh air. When he is not touching grass, he is overhauling the military armor and outfits we have on the server. Ever since MVS became deprecated, we decided to make our own balanced armor for armed conflicts. This overhaul will change the very nature of how battle-ready survivors choose the gear they wear. As we roll this new system out, different armor will have different values, creating a tiered hierarchy that incentivizes a progression and trade-off of cargo versus space and defense. Our content creators are already making awesome retextures, and these items will eventually be craftable with the tailor profession and dyeable to all variants. We are excited to roll this out and look forward to the many distinct looks to be created. We already have a bunch of exciting things planned for the end of April that we are working on now. Thank you for watching and look forward to seeing you on the island.